This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
Checking the microphones, going good.
It is the 14th of November, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marnie Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Of course, tonight is the eve of all eves. It's 6:51 p.m. right now. All the hunters are probably hitting the hay right now, dreaming of that big buck that's going to come walking right in front of them tomorrow. Of course, gun season starts tomorrow in Michigan, so hey.
Yeah, because I totally knew that.
I can tell you a story about my first actually, if you want to hear me tell my story, I think it was a year ago today is when I told that story. Mm-hmm. Perfect rendition of what happened when I got conned into using my tag. It was very traumatic.
Was it traumatic? That's the word?
Yeah, my little brother said I exaggerated the story, but he was only 3. He doesn't know. He wasn't out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've been off for like a week almost. And we went 2 years. So we started in April of 2019. And we made it all the way up till September of this year without missing a podcast. We did 4 of them a week.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then COVID. That's the COVID. And COVID kind of took us out for sure. And then last week, it was a great week. And we talked a little bit about it on our last podcast on Saturday, but my dad came into town and you got to meet my father, my stepmom, and you know, some of my uncles and aunt from that side of the family. And it was cool. It was nice to reconnect if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, or maybe you haven't, but caught some episodes. You know, there was a huge part, I wouldn't say blame the drinking on, but a huge part of me that wasn't not satisfied. I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking right now. But anyway, it was an issue that I had, you know, in my father. And it was nothing that, you know, he didn't beat me or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. It was still an issue that I had. And it took me a while to figure out that was even a problem. And to come to terms with, it is what it is, acceptance, you know, and you can either live this way all bitter and or you can forgive and move on, you know, and he forgave me, I forgive him, you know, and it's just such a better way to go about life. Mm-hmm. It really is. I'm not holding on to any of that. It just feels good, you know, and you get to meet him, you get to meet my stepmother, and I'm sure you're like, yay, finally.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we went out and we hung out with him, and that was great. And then Sunday night, like I started feeling like something was kind of off, and my doctor told me that my levels were off, my liver enzymes. And ever since the whole ordeal in 2015 with the liver about dying, I get worried. Like I had broken ribs, and I thought it was, my liver. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm always worried, like, my liver. And so I'm feeling that pain. I'm like, oh no, you know, like this is bad. And I wake up and it just keeps getting worse, and it's hurting in my back. And I had you like rub my back during the night, you know, waking up Monday morning, and I knew like, okay, I gotta go to the hospital, and this is probably not going to be good. And I'm in so much pain. It was hell. I'm in there and just like, I couldn't sit. I couldn't do anything. And I apologize if, you know, I offended some people, but it was just like F, S, H, F, I mean, I just was dying there, man. And they finally get me back, and they put me in this little room. And at first the nurse was a little snappy with me, you know, just thinking, well, just be thankful that you got a room. I really would be thankful if this pain wasn't happening right now. Mm-hmm. And that I'm freaking out mentally because I think it's my liver failing. And turned out it wasn't. And my first dealing with this kind of situation was in July of 2015 when I went to the doctor. It felt like somebody had punched me in my stomach and just it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And at first I thought maybe it was gas, but then it just got so bad. And they had told me at that time in Arkansas that, well, one doctor was like, well, we need to go look at your liver. I already got a liver guy. I don't need to do that. Another doctor was like, oh, you got gallstones and we need to remove your gallbladder. The other guy was like, oh, did you eat a lot of fatty foods recently? And I was like, yeah, I just killed that buffet, which that night before I made it a mission to hit every single dessert on the dessert tray on the buffet. I was going to try every single one. Not a good idea. And he said, just, it's acute pancreatitis. You don't need to do surgery or anything like that. Just stay away from the fatty foods. Oh, that sounds like the best option for me. So I left. Well, turns out that the gallbladder was not in good shape.
It was in terrible shape.
Is that what the doctor said?
Yes.
Yeah. And oh my God, it hurt so bad. And they gave me an option of, well, you're here now. We can get you into surgery tomorrow. This was Monday after spending pretty much the whole day in there. They said we can do that tomorrow, or you can go home and we can schedule you out and maybe get you in then. And of course, I started to feel a little bit better because I think they gave me some.
They give you stuff to make you feel better while you're there.
Yeah, and I guess I was actually passing, or one was stuck, or like a gallstone was stuck, and that's why. Like the week prior, and I think that might have been what I was really, really sick over, when I thought I was really, really sick after I had COVID.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because when you were passing the gallstone is when those numbers went up of your liver. And then by that time, they had gone back down once you were in the hospital. Because you were telling the nurse all of, my numbers are up on my liver enzymes. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're just fine. Everything looks just fine.
Well, on Friday, the levels were still up because the doctor sent me for another blood work thing. And so, but when I was really, really sick, I think that's when it first started. And I think maybe they just kept coming, but my God, it hurt so bad. And I said, let's leave. And you were like, no, stay. And I did. I stayed, and they got me in surgery like first thing in the morning. Wasn't too bad. It was weird because I'm a hairy person who identifies as a male, and they shave me. So I look ridiculous. I mean, I look ridiculous with a shirt off anyway, but I'm just saying, it's like the way it's shaved, like big old belly, and I'm bloated too, so it's even worse. So that's weird. And then today was the first time I had a movement since last Monday morning. And I think that has a lot to do with just being backed up. And I worry a lot. And I'm just thinking, man, I might have to go back. Are they going to have to shove something on my booty to get some stuff out? I don't know. But I really don't want to do that again. And you were saying, well, it says that if you haven't had a bowel movement in 3 days, you're supposed to come back.
That's what the discharge paperwork said, was to bring you back.
I don't want to go back.
Well, I'm like, but you have to eat food to But this was your first surgery ever. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
To make it that many years without having to have a surgery. So you had never been put under anesthesia.
Yeah, when I had my wisdom teeth out.
This is a whole different ball game, though.
I mean, but I was talking to him, we were talking football, and then hey, what's up? So that was, I don't know. And I wasn't really nervous about that. I just don't like being hurt and down and out. And it seems like this whole fall season just sucks, man.
It's been terrible.
It's my favorite time of the year. And it's COVID and then being sick and then this and that and gallbladder removed and just feeling like crap this whole time. And I will say, though, where I really messed up is I should have stayed in the hospital longer. Because the lady's like, well, we're going to try to give you some of these Norcos, and they didn't do anything for me. And they never have. Whenever I've taken Norcos, they've done nothing. And I told her that, and she's like, oh, well, you can stay, and then we'll give you this other, and then blah, blah, blah. I'm like, stay. I'm ready to go. I already peed. I did all your stuff they want me to do. I'm ready to go, because when I got there Monday night, they finally moved me to the room at like 10:30 or 11, something like that. It might have been midnight. And this other dude was in the room and just kept I mean, it sounded like he was pooping himself. And I didn't really smell anything, but just the sound of it was like, oh my gosh, like this is gross. And the next day I wake up and his family's all up in there. They're eating chicken, having a party or whatever they were doing. And he kept passing gas, but this time I could smell it. And I was just like, I am not going to sit here all night with this dude. There's no way. So I just want to get out of there because let's go home. I'm ready for a nice, comfortable bed. And so she's like, well, we can't give you this and can't give you that. And she's like, well, try to take 2 of them at a time. Try to take 2 Norco. And then you had said to her, like, well, hey, but you're only going to give him so many of them. You know, isn't he going to run out faster? I don't even know what she said. It wasn't even an answer. It was just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know what common sense is. I think is what she actually said to you. Common sense? I don't have any. What? She was nice, though, but still, it was just like one of those things like, yeah. So they gave me 5 Norco. Look out, world. So those were gone. You know, it took them 6 hours. 2, and then 1. And okay, what am I supposed to do now? I was in so much pain. And I called my doctor to say, hey, look, this, you know, obviously you said I went and had surgery. They gave me Norcos. I, you know, said that doesn't work, never has. Can you try this other stuff? And well, it has to be your, you know, surgeon people. Call them. Okay, cool. Call them. And that lady was a straight up not happy person. I think stuff wasn't going right in her life. Maybe love life. I don't know. But she just wasn't nice. And she was like, well, that's where you should have stayed longer. And I said, well, I have my reasons why I didn't stay longer. But here's the situation. You know, I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm just wanting some relief from that. Wow, then you should, you know, if you're in that much pain, like, first of all, she was calling me a liar, saying that I wasn't in that much pain. I just wanted to party it up. Hey, hit my gallbladder out, man, so we could party. I don't know what she was thinking, but that's not what I was calling. I'm asking for help. This hurts like hell. And she's just like, well, then you can go to the walk-in clinic. Lady, I can't get out of bed right now. Like, I'm in so much pain. Like, you're going to tell me I'm just going to go to the walk-in clinic and hang out during, everybody has COVID. And that's another thing. The hospital here in Traverse City, COVIDed out. I mean, they are maxed out. And do I really want to be in that environment again? Yeah, I've already had COVID, but I don't want to get it again. And no, let's use this bed for somebody else, you know? So no, I don't want to take up a bedding. I just want you to give me something that works. And she was just such a biatch. And I don't know. I could see why people would be like, all right, well then, fine. You know, and I don't drink anymore. So that's not an option. But it would have been if I wasn't in recovery. You know, I would have been drinking. I would have been doing something, which obviously would not have done me good. It probably would have done me much harm. Or I would have, you know, started looking around. And, hey, man, what you got? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, try this. What is it? Oh, it's better than, oh, okay. You know, when you're in that much kind of pain, like, I get it, man. Like, I get it why people would seek out alternatives. And it's because what? Because the pharmaceutical companies had to pay because they over prescribed. You know, this isn't over prescribing. This is just giving me a prescription of something that works instead of 5 Norco. It just blows my mind. And for her little attitude, you know, I just didn't appreciate it. And, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, if you weren't around, I know if I was in recovery for sure, I would be doing some other stuff, but smoking weed, no, I wouldn't get that, you know, but I would go for some kind of other drug. Oh, try this heroin. Okay. Does it make this pain stop? Okay. Yeah. Give it to me. Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how I would, especially if I had started drinking. Oh yeah, sure. Give that to me too. You know, but it's very dangerous, you know, and I think there needs to be some kind of middle ground, some kind of balance where they don't just tell people no and F off like they pretty much told me.
Well, I wonder if they're that way with all patients.
Oh, you're saying because I'm a man?
No, I'm saying because you're in recovery.
Well, none of them knew I was in well, they probably saw my shirt. No, that lady didn't know I was in recovery. And they were back in the day. They wouldn't even give me Norcos. When I like broke my toe when I fell down the steps, herniated another discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, nope, you don't get any of those.
But it's tough with pain management for people that are in recovery. Like for me, my drug of choice is alcohol. Same for you. Pills has never been really a drive for me at all, ever. So I'm not really scared of them. Of course, anything can be a gateway drug, and they are addictive. We know that. That's proven. You do withdrawal from pain medications. And they're you to build a tolerance to these pain medications. So, I mean, it's all in the same boat. So I think it varies from person to person on where you feel you're at with your recovery to feel like if that's something that you can handle. For me, like, if I'm in pain, like, nobody wants to have to feel pain, but would it be worth, like, if I thought it was going to jeopardize my recovery, then for sure that I would probably think twice before I did agree to take any sort of pain med. If I thought it was going to mess with me in any way, shape, or form, I would definitely have to think about it. So, but like, I don't know, when it comes down to it, yeah, nobody wants to be in pain.
And I guess if it was like, hey, take this drink of alcohol and it'll go away, for 6 hours, then, if it gave me any kind of feeling like the alcohol gave me, then I'd probably say, no, let's not do that. Let's just try some Pepto-Bismol or something, but with the pills, I had learned that when I broke my ribs that time, and it was like, whoa, like I didn't think I had broken ribs. And then all of a sudden I ran out and I was like, oh my gosh, my ribs just broke again. And it was like, oh no, they're just not healed. And then I started experiencing the withdrawals, and of course I know what withdrawals are. And I just thought, okay, well, I'm just going to hunker down and enjoy it. It was mild. It wasn't nothing like withdrawal from alcohol, but I just, okay, that's what this is. I get it. I'm not new to this game, but that's fine. Like I can go through those withdrawals and not be like, oh, I need more now. But I just needed some relief, like maybe another 5. The 5 pills have been great. But my doctor did end up hooking me up, though, with some more Norcos, which don't really... I'm sure they do something, but I know they keep you constipated. Just a little bit. But no, but it feels good to kind of start to finally like, okay, bowel movement, check. It still hurts to get out of bed. And I don't know, people have always expressed to me how simple and easy it's so simple and easy, the gallbladder surgery. Oh, it's in and out operation. I don't know. That was my first surgery, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the funnest, the most fun.
No surgeries are fun, but...
But then it made me think, too, like, I remember my grandpa, when I saw him last time in the hospital, he couldn't talk. He just... and he looked like he came from a Nazi camp, Nazi prison camp, because they'd like cut off his food and stuff. And he's just, man, we should help them along. Like, because I would want that. I wouldn't want to sit there and not be able to talk just in pain. You're not enjoying life at that point. You're ready to go meet Jesus, let's just help them along.
Yeah.
We do that with animals. Oh, but not humans, because that's inhumane.
That's tough. That's a tough decision. But yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't want to live like that.
People will give money to rescue cats and dogs more than they will to feed a homeless person. It's really weird how we do things. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, man, if he was in that much pain, like I'm glad that he got to check out when he did at least, because he definitely was not in no pain, because it was bad.
Right.
Ugh, yeah. So if you're ever going to have surgery, stay as long as possible. Or maybe ask. Well, see, and that was another thing. I couldn't ask to switch rooms. Hey, can you get Mr. Poopy Pants out of here? So
yeah, I know. I was waiting for you to ask that.
His whole family was up there, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like 7 a.m, the lady comes walking by, like looking at me like, excuse me, you know, for being in the room. I was like, lady, I'm half of this room too. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's definitely been trying though. This whole last couple months have been really, really difficult.
And then you got big one coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, surgery on Thursday. So there's that. And the other day I just lost it. I was just a mess, crying and just upset because I was just like, nothing is going our way. Like, it's just, I cannot catch a freaking breath, take a breath even. And then it's one other thing of disaster in my life or yours, or, you know. And then, yeah, you know, and then of course I get my mother, you know, and my sister who are like putting things into perspective. You know, like, think of how bad your life was before, you know. So, and these are just things that happen in the world, in people's lives. Yours just happened to happen back to back, and back again. And I'm like, when's it gonna end, Mom? Like, when is this craziness gonna stop? Because I don't know how much more I can handle. And, you know, it's funny, of all the conversations and texts, you know, never once was she like, you're not thinking about drinking, are you? Because she knows better, you know. I mean, you can throw whatever at me, and that's not going to make me pick up a drink, for sure. But I am kind of like, yeah, but that's a given now, Mom. Like, you know, she's like, well, you could be, you know, it could be that bad again. I'm like, yeah, but I don't do that anymore. So we can't use that. We can't use that as comparison anymore. I'm asking now why I have all this bad crap happen to me. Before I got it, I deserved it. So, but why now? Because everything's supposed to be amazing. So,
yeah, but I'm still alive, and you're still alive, and you know there's a lot of people that have it worse. You know, whenever you're thinking, oh man, I have it the worst ever. No, there's someone who has it worse. And even when you're like, man, things are great. No, somebody else has it better. You know, like, you can't judge yourself by other people either, but you can't look at it and just think, oh my God, this is so bad for poor me.
Yeah.
It's hard though. But your mom though, my mom think the same way, and sort of they're right, because, you know, until we have that situation happen, I mean, we can sit here across from each other, smiling, looking beautiful and pretty and cute, and say that, no, I'm never going to do it again. But until it hits us, until it's right in our face, we really don't know.
Oh, no,
you know,
there are no
just
guarantees. Pray
that God, you know, helps us through it and takes us where we need to go. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer a life with no alcohol or drugs ever again.
Yeah.
Except for when I have surgery, prescribed drugs, which isn't always safe.
No, definitely not.
But I don't know. I see where people go. I see how it happens. Not like I didn't see it before, but
right.
I just took a breath and it hurt. I'm still in quite a bit of pain. But I figured we had to do a podcast because I was like, been gone for so long, and I've kind of just left social media and everything else just kind of out there. And not like,
and your phone and your messages and your messenger and everything.
Yeah.
And the mail and your Amazon boxes.
Yeah.
That's when you know that things are not going well.
Yeah. My fantasy football team's getting beat by Keith. Thanks, jerk. I'm just kidding. Congratulations on your win. Got beat by my wife last week. Beat by Keith this week. How come I can't play Tyrone twice? Like you play him twice.
I didn't.
I think you play him next week.
You're the one who was in charge of this whole thing.
Tyrone's having a hard time with fantasy football. Yeah, should have explained it better. Anyway,
next season.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll play next season. He'll be like, "No, man, you just took my money." But I just want to come on and do kind of a quick podcast. Just gonna say what was up, what's been going on, and we're still alive. And did you know I was looking, and I think We are the podcast with the most episodes about recovery.
I believe that.
I'm going to call the Guinness Book of World Records and have them put us in there.
Well, we're not going to keep that status if we keep taking weeks off because of
No, we will. We're just going to keep growing.
losing organs.
Every time we do another one, it'll be adding to it.
I know.
We'll break our record like a million times over. Mm-hmm. I'm 80 years old. How's it going? You can listen to the early days. But thanks for tuning in, though. Really do appreciate it. And if you want to win a free shirt, we're probably going to take that down soon, maybe. But we also have badass sweatshirts.
Yeah, that once we get back to normal,
Yeah, we
fire those up.
Those up in the shop, make the shop look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, free shirt 217recovery.com. Sign up. And thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Talk to you Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen on the 217 Recovery app. Download the app and rate us in your app store.